Welcome to BalletWise. My name is Michael Wise. I'm its host and its creator. Now, we're going to try something a little different today, but it's something that I think we all can benefit from because, we're always looking at dancers. We're trying to understand what makes them great. And so we've selected a group of dancers that I think are ones that you probably should know about. Now, please be aware that the dancers that I'm going to be talking about, they mean something to me. They're not in any particular order. There's not a number one dancer and a number two dancer. These are just dancers that have spoken to me throughout my career and actually have changed its direction because of what they've done. Now, I want to start off with a male dancer. He was a brilliant young dancer. His life ended at a relatively young age. But during the time that he was dancing, he was groundbreaking. His name is Yuri Soloviev. Now, when I was 17 years old, I saw a video of him doing Flower Festival. Now, the kind of dancer I was going to be more of the heroic type. I wasn't really meant to be the prince. I was probably meant to murder the prince on stage. So those were the characters that I would play, and that's the style that I would predominantly move in. So when I saw Soloviev do Flower Festival, which is something I've performed, it blew my mind. I didn't even realize that they could dance like that, and this was before my time. When I'm 17, this man was long gone. But he dances as good, if not better, than the majority of dancers today. So be aware that there are brilliant dancers throughout history that many of us have forgotten. And hopefully we can kind of wake you up and make you see some of these. The next dancer I really want to talk about, someone you probably have heard her name, but many of you probably have never seen her dance. She basically set the groundwork for the way an entire country dances today. Alicia Alonso. She is literally the mother of what we understand as Cuban ballet today. She was predominantly Russian trained, like most people in that part of the world at that time period. But her renegade spirit, her passion, bled through every single thing she did. And it gave an identity to an entire country. She was one of the greatest ballerinas of her time. And she literally influenced the way so many of us around the world dance today. But she was one of the first that really brought out her spirit. You knew that woman had some sass. You knew that woman was a force of nature just by the way she danced. It wasn't just her technique. It was what she brought to it. It's what she said with it. And I know that many of us know who she is. We've heard her name in passing. We've probably had teachers that have been trained by her. But sometimes we need to take a moment and go back and look at why she is regarded this way. This woman demands our respect. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. This woman has had an influence on the ballet world that will always be moving forward. So Alicia Alonso is more than just a dancer. She was a pioneer of her time. She was the identity of an entire country. And she had influence over the way we dance all over the world. A dancer that many of you know as a director. You've all heard of Anthony Dowell. He was the artistic director of the Royal Ballet. He himself was a major principal dancer and had danced all over the world with ABT as a guest, Paris Opera, all over the place. Anthony Dowell brought a quality to ballet that at that time was not predominantly represented. That man could take an adagio and just make you weak at the knees. But the way his emotions came out and just the way he stepped, the way he hit his fifth position, it just made you glued to just watching him. And you can still see that today. You can find YouTube videos of him performing. And that feeling still comes through in a video. Imagine what it would have been like if you could have watched that live on stage. He is someone that we should acknowledge and revere as a dancer, not just as a director of a ballet company. And our final dancer, who is someone that you may know her name, you may know her as a choreographer or as a teacher, or even heard that she is one of the greats. But the reality is, many of you have never seen her dance. Natalia Makarova. She brought a feeling and a passion to her dance. She brought a level of recklessness to moments in her movement. But the difference is she knew how to manipulate and use her body to tell her story, to let you know that there was more to her. She told every story that you can think of in ballet, whether it was Romeo and Juliet, whether it was Black Swan, you name it, she's done it. But she is someone that I think all of us should go back and look at and appreciate, because technically she was more closer to what we do today. But her spirit, her personality, her perseverance were all things that were incorporated into those movements. And if you don't go back and watch all of these dancers, you are losing something. Dance has a history. There have been brilliant dancers that have come through all of us. And our influences should not just be what we see on YouTube in shorts. Our influence should be also from people in our past that have been trailblazers. Makarova was a trailblazer. No one moved like her at the time. And to be quite honest, very few people can move like her today. So, hopefully, this is someone that you can see and connect with. Remember that every dancer, we're all connected. We've all done that plie combination. We've all done the same things in class. So you have to understand that you have a direct connection to all of these dancers. The history of dance and the dancers that have come before us are meant there to teach us, to help us become a better version of what they brought to the dance world. Ballet is alive. It lives, it breathes in all of us. It's something we love. It's the discipline. It's the emotional, chaotic nature that we can bring to it. But these are all dancers that have not only done that, but lived it on stage, influenced nations, directed change in the dance world. But if we're not looking back at who became before us and seeing the greatness that they bring, we're losing. We're leaving something behind that should not only be revered, but it should be a part of all of us. Take the time, and I'm going to give you a job to do. Look at all of these artists. Look at others. Because you as a student, you as a dancer, you as just someone that loves the art form, you can learn. When you get to see someone dance, that speaks more than words ever can. Watch the way they just use how they use their feet. Watch the way they use their arms. Look at how they use their heads. How do they emulate the way people move in real life? They take what we do in ballet and bring a sense of the world to it. You, all of you, need to find that again. I'm not going to say that dancers today aren't brilliant, but sometimes we see a brilliant dancer and we don't know why they do that or where it came from. These are 4 dancers that have made their own way, but they've also taught us how we can do the same. We shouldn't forget our past because it can truly teach us. In the comments below, let us know if you'd like to see more people, a part 2 of this video. But also, let us know the dancers you want to see, how they affected you. And lastly, if there are topics or ideas that you would like to see us cover, let us know in the comments, drop us an email, because we would love to hear what you think. So, my name is Michael Wise. This has been BalletWise. Keep dancing and be the best person you can be. Bye.